I'm very pink today.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what is up, guys? It's Wednesday, which means it's Boss Up and List Day, our all-day virtual listing party. What, we're going to like say that in unison?
No.
Our all-day virtual listing party that we do in the Boss Facebook group. So if you're not in the Boss Facebook group, you should definitely join. The link's down below. Every Wednesday morning, I put a post up and people can check in and say what their goals are for the day for listing. And then we do this live show. It's kind of a break in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
So today's show, a couple of things. Today's show is going to be shorter than normal, even less than an hour. We'll probably stop around 10 till noon because we have a phone call we need to be on. So we need to be able to prepare for that at noon. And also we need to start the show off. Sorry that it's not probably going to be a comedy hour or comedy 50 minutes because we had some really sad news this morning. And if you're in the Boss Facebook group, you've already seen this post, but you want to go ahead and tell people what's up?
So we unexpectedly lost one of our friends and fellow eBay sellers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many of you may know this woman, but her name is Lynn Hudziak. She's been a very active member in the eBay community for many, many
Mm-hmm.
years. She participates in several Facebook groups and co-runs Thrifty Adventures, a group with Laura. And she had been diagnosed with cancer at the beginning of the summer. And
Laura Wajiwoda.
I can't pronounce Laura's last name. I'm sorry. I didn't want to destroy it.
Yeah.
I apologize, Laura, if you're watching, who is also a member of our Facebook group as well. So anyway, we just wanted to pass along this news. You know, Lynn was a good friend and a great person and was very active in the eBay community and always willing to help people. She was very knowledgeable. And I got to know her a couple of years ago through another Facebook group. And she always went to, you know, eBay Open, except this year she wasn't feeling up to it. She wasn't able to participate, but she did just go to Ecom last month.
Yeah. So for those of you who are at Ecom, you might have seen her. I think she was in a wheelchair.
She was in a wheelchair last month. She wasn't feeling well, but she had thought the cancer was in remission and it had come back. And she was very private about that part of her life. Not very many people knew about it. And it just happened, you know, as of a couple of months ago, she thought she was cancer free, and it came back very, very aggressively and took her very quickly. And unfortunately, she passed away last night. I don't think any of us expected it.
No.
And I'm not sure that she even knew how bad it was.
Right.
So on that sad note, we just wanted to acknowledge that she will be missed. She was a valid member of the community, and there is going to be a hole left where she was. And some people talk about.
Well, yeah. Well, I wanted to say real quick that, you know, like I've got to know her a little bit over the past several months, and but she was really close with some of our other members of this community, like Lorna, who's in the chat. They were super close. Like they spoke on the phone all the time. They were very good friends, and so I know Lorna's really having a hard time with this. So I just want to acknowledge that some of our friends are hurting even more than others. It's just really difficult. But we wanted to, you know, sometimes we get like super chats and then, you know, I do the silly super chat song and stuff. So we just wanted to say, first of all, that any super chats that if we do get any today, we are going to donate those to Frosty's Fosters, which is an animal rescue out of Wisconsin that Lynn followed and supported. She was a big animal lover.
She loved her fur babies.
Yeah, she would send.
We sent her treats for her dogs and toys for her dogs and stuff.
Yeah, and I know she would send care packages to Lorna for her dog. So she was a big animal lover. So if we do get any super chats today, we are going to donate those to Frosty's Fosters. Also, because YouTube does take a chunk of that money, if anybody wants to donate in Lynn's memory and wants to do it directly, I have the link down below, but I'm also going to put it in the chat right now. Laura had created a fundraising page on Facebook that goes directly to this organization. So I'm just going to put that in right now. So again, and if you do donate, let us know in the chat and I'll give you a shout out for that. And that's just a small way to kind of, you know, make a gift to something that Lynn really cared about a lot.
We originally had said that we were going to give it to the American Cancer Society, which is a wonderful organization as well. And obviously we were touched by this. But I think that this little animal rescue, the money goes a little bit further. And I think that Lynn would like that.
Absolutely. So
she loved her babies, and she loved all animals.
Yep. I see Leoman just popped in and gave a $10 super chat. One heck of a thrifter gave a $2 super chat. So again, we're going to give all of that money to Frosty's Fosters, an animal rescue that's in Wisconsin that Lynn Hudziak was a big supporter of, because if she loved anything more than eBay, it was animals.
And it was probably the animals.
I'd say animals probably came number one, and then eBay was probably number two, because she gave a lot of her time to helping other people, helping resellers, helping sellers to be better at what they do. She was super committed. She came to all the stuff like eBay Open, other than this last one because she was sick. So yeah, Cheryl Ross, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. That's going to go to Frosty's Fosters. I love those little organizations like that, because I went and looked at their website, and I also looked at their Facebook page. And it looks like they're a smaller organization, and they do a lot of work to help find homes for cats and dogs. So I love that.
I think those little organizations need the money far, far more than the big American Cancer Society organization. Don't get me wrong, they do wonderful things with the American Cancer Society, but that little bit of money goes much farther.
Yeah,
with smaller organizations. I've worked with and worked for smaller nonprofits for many, many years, and I know that every dollar tends to go much farther when it's a smaller organization, especially the ones that are all volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of fosters work with a lot of volunteers. So,
well, and both of our dogs were rescues. Like, and Grizz actually came from she was a foster dog. I got her through an organization in Oregon, in Portland, that would rescue dogs. They'd get dogs from like shelters and stuff that were hard to place. Grizz was probably a little too neurotic and crazy in a shelter. And so she actually came from a foster home. She'd been in a foster home for a year when I got her. And so to me, it's like, this really resonates with me as well.
And I thank everybody for all these, the generous super chats. It's really kind of you. Thank you very much for
RBA Flips, Melissa Cape, Texas Turnaround, Victoria Smith just busted out $50. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. And again, anyone that's just joining us now, we are donating that to Frosty's Fosters Animal Rescue in Wisconsin in Lynn Hudziak's memory. Yeah, she was a super awesome.
She was a great person, and she was one of the first people that I met at my first eBay Open, that I had only met online previously. So big hug. She's like, "Oh my God, Vikki, so nice to meet you." And that was, and that was 3 years ago, whenever the first one was that I went to. So,
see, I never actually got to meet her in person. I guess, got to know her more over the last several months, but Waste Not, Want Not, Rosie's Closet, Crystal, thank you guys so much for donating. It's going to go.
This is not something that we're going to do all the time. I want people to understand that, but nor do you need to feel obligated to give. But if you have the means and you'd like to do so, you can either directly donate on the link or send the money through the super chat. And if you donate directly on the link, just let us know. This way it goes directly to them. The super chat, YouTube does take a little bit of a chunk of that. So
yeah, either way
works. And I guess we will talk about.
Yeah, well, and another thing I wanted to say, because I saw Laura had posted this in Thrifty Adventures, and I thought it was a really important thing to share. We have our issues with eBay sometimes. Sometimes we get frustrated. Sometimes maybe our sales, we don't feel like we're getting enough sales, or when things happen with glitches, any number of things, we like to feel sorry for ourselves and whatever. But I always say that eBay, what I love about eBay is I feel like they are a very special company, that they really do care about their sellers. They really do pay attention to what we say. If you're anybody who's been involved in the eBay community, that you're able to connect with people who work at eBay, even the higher ups. They're always very available. And I know that when Lynn was diagnosed with cancer, there were people at eBay that she was close with that knew about that. And they would do things like send her flowers, send her gifts, send her stuff to try and cheer her up and help her to know that she's loved. And I think that to be selling on a platform that actually like has people who reach out like that to sellers.
Recognizes and gets to know people individually as people and not just a number. That's not something you can say about Amazon or any of the other platforms.
And you know what?
Quite honest.
Lynn was an awesome member of the community. She helped a lot of sellers. But she wasn't selling $1 million a year.
No, she was just
eBay.
like us. She worked her butt off.
She was, a single lady with her lovely pets.
Yep,
she wasn't care of herself.
She wasn't married. She didn't have any children, and her eBay was her life, and her eBay friends and her eBay community were her family.
She wasn't making eBay tons of money, but they cared about her, and so I just thought that they should be acknowledged for caring about their sellers.
And when she had to pull out of going to eBay Open at the last minute, or relatively last minute because of her health, they did give her a full refund of her ticket and sent her flowers and everything, as Lorna says. That was really nice, and that's. Most people no refunds, blah, blah, blah. It was personal, and they knew it was personal.
Absolutely.
So.
Allison Big Drift Drift just donated. RVA Flips is donating through the site as well. So thank you so much. Let me make sure, I want to go back and make sure that I see if anybody else said that they donated directly. So I want to be able to give everybody a shout out.
Cheryl donated $10.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Yeah. We were, I don't know if you saw what our topic for the day is, but we're basically, it's like we were already feeling like a little run down right now. And then we found out, we got this news this morning.
I woke up to a message from Laura, who runs the
Woda. I'm going to hope that I'm saying her name correctly.
Laura W. I'm going to go with
Laura
that.
W. She runs the Thrifty Adventures Facebook group, but she did reach out to us because she knows that we were close, and we wanted to make sure that we were able to get in touch with people personally before it kind of got put out there. But yeah, it's fourth quarter. We're kind of in the middle of this kind of crazy time of year. Sales are going crazy, but it's going into the holidays, and it's you're already getting worn out.
It's not even the middle of November, and I'm burnt.
I know, right?
What I was just saying to Katie this morning, we had friends in town for a week, which was fantastic. And the week before that was my family with my brother and sister-in-law, my niece and nephew. And living in Vegas, this is a vacation destination. So we do get a lot of visitors throughout the year, which I love and welcome, believe me. I'm very fortunate that I didn't move somewhere in the middle of, the Midwest where no one ever wants to come and visit.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that my friends and family come to me because of where I live, and that's awesome. But it's hard. It's hard to have this type of business and learn to balance your personal life and a social life and your time with trying to make sure that you take advantage of fourth quarter, which especially if this is your sole income or a significant part of your family's income or your household income, it's a very busy time of the year that you have to take advantage of by listing as much as possible and sourcing and getting items up and shipping. And every day you're shipping is more because you're selling more.
Yeah.
So it's a very demanding time of the year, and
just in general,
it's worth it. Because monetarily, it's definitely worth it if you have the time and energy to put into it. As far as I'm concerned, I have to. I don't really have a choice but to take advantage of this time of the year. But there are also demands on your time for other things. I mean, we have families, and we have.
First of all, a disclaimer: we're not doing the show because we have any answers for you.
Yeah, no. We just want to commiserate.
Yeah, it's more like
strength in numbers.
When we were trying to decide what we were going to do for a topic today, I was like, you know what? We're having Q4 burnout, and I think that we should acknowledge that, because I think people need to understand that, if you're feeling it right now, we all are. And it's the reality. And, with everything happening with Lynn, it's just further, proof that it's this community is really important. And, you may be working on your own. You may be alone kind of going through this, but we're all here for each other. This is a community. We support each other. And so even when maybe your sales are awesome right now, but that also means that you're working harder, even harder than ever. And it's okay to be kind of feeling drained and feeling burnout. And hopefully we can turn to each other and just be like, ugh, I just need support. I just need somebody who understands. Because it's this time of year, whether you work for yourself or you work a regular job, it already is demanding, like Vikki was saying. They say that more breakups happen during the holidays than any other time because people are just stressed out. People are stressed because maybe they don't have the best relationships with their families. Maybe, you know, for whatever reason, it's just super, super stressful. Or maybe you have kids and you don't have a lot of money and you're worried about how you're going to provide a great holiday season for them. And it's just a high stress time of year. And then on top of that, we're working for ourselves and we're having to deal with, you know, like Monday, I had this crazy, amazing, ridiculous day of sales on eBay and also on Etsy. And then yesterday it was like, oh, and today, right. I think it had a lot to do with like the election happening. But it's a roller coaster. So it can be stressful. And it's like,
it's important to acknowledge that. It's important to take the time for yourself that you need. As Teresa just mentioned, it's okay that some days you just need to take I'm going to go and sit in bed and watch Netflix and binge on Ben and Jerry's and not turn on eBay.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And you can just be like, you know, like Teresa says, we all need some downtime. Take it when you need it and don't feel guilty. Yeah. And you can be like, oh, I can't do this anymore. And then the next day, like, you know, get up and get back to it because you gotta keep going. But it's okay to kind of wimp out on it for a little bit.
And we did that with our visitors last week. We made sure to take half a day every couple of days or every other day while they were here. We worked very hard in the morning and then we took afternoons and evenings to hang out and be with our friends.
But then that just means it's like 24/7, you're like doing something.
Then it just meant that, you know, it was like a very, very long day every day.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to make sure to take advantage of our time with our visitors. But again, balance. And I have a hard time with that. I know Katie does as well. And the fact that we both do the same thing and we both work a bazillion hours a week because it's what we love, is okay. But sometimes you definitely feel the burnout. Like today, I'm feeling it.
Well, and having visitors really contributes to that because, like, you know, you're saying it's like we had a lot of fun, but it means we're only getting like maybe, if we're lucky, half a day of work in and then socializing. And it's like, you know, the rest of the time, and you can have a great time, but it takes all the energy out of you.
And we dedicate, 6 to 8 hours a week to the YouTube show. As you dedicate more because Katie does do the editing and the uploading. Not that we edit much. That's why we do live, because it makes life much easier. But 6 to 8 hours a week with the YouTube show. And then we've got to come up with some topics. And then, we try to participate and help admin in the boss group and, answer questions and participate there. So it's not just our business. It's this, and we consider this part of our business. Right. This is work and we're not complaining because we love it and we love you guys. But it's a lot.
Yep.
It's a lot.
And Teresa says, next day, tell yourself, suck it up, buttercup. This is always better than 9 to 5 option. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this isn't about complaining by any means, but it's good to, I think that if you are too negative and you dwell on the negative all the time, that's just going to bring you down. It's going to make it really, really hard. But on the opposite side, if we sit here and we're on, we do these shows 3 times a week for a good 6 hours of live time. And all we ever do is tell you like, oh, how amazing everything is. And look at how positive we are. Look at our great sales. Look at our great numbers and like how great everything is and how we've got it all figured out. I think that if you're somebody who maybe is struggling a little bit on parts of it, that can also be frustrating because it feels like, what are you doing wrong? Like, why can't you be, have it all together like we do? And we're just here to tell you, like, we don't have it all together. And sometimes we're burnout and sometimes we're just like, ugh, like, how do we get a breath here? But we do have the next couple of weeks before Thanksgiving where we don't really have anything going on. We can still put in ridiculous amounts of work, but at least at the end of the day, we can cuddle our puppies and veg out in front of the TV and do nothing for like a little bit. It'll be nice.
Like I do not intend to leave the house today. Like when we're done with this, we have another call we have to jump on. And then once we're done with that, it'll be photos for me all day. But I am wearing my yoga pants, a big baggy hoodie. I am like,
Yep, absolutely.
Not going anywhere.
Yeah, Teresa says, my point is take a day, but don't let one day turn into 3, turn into a week. It can be a slippery slope. Absolutely.
That's absolutely
and so
true. And like, as someone that struggles with depression, which I do, that is exactly what depression is like. And that's for me. A lot of people rely on medication and things like that, which is a wonderful thing and definitely needed for people. I personally don't take medication. It's just something I've chosen not to do, but I do struggle with depression and PTSD and anxiety. And for me, that's exactly what Teresa said. I allow myself to take one day and if I, and wallow, if I'm having a day and I need a day, that's okay. I give myself a day. By day 2, I'm like, I got to get stuff done. I got to get up and
then that makes it when you do take that day, it makes it so you can just appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, just appreciate it and don't give yourself a hard time about it. Like, appreciate, like, you know what? I need this for me. I need to like kind of decompress, and it's okay because tomorrow I'm gonna, but yeah, you don't want it to be like every day you're saying, well, tomorrow I'll figure it out.
And it's okay that you have these moments, and that's normal, and that's reality. Nobody is infallible. Nobody is polypositive every day. Even Katie
I have my moments.
Has her moments.
I have my moments, and then I get right back to work. All right, Swift Seller just donated $9.99 in super chat, and so anybody who has jumped in late to the show, I'm not doing any silly super chat songs today. All the super chat money we are passing along and donating to Frosty's Fosters, which is an animal rescue out of Wisconsin. We're donating that in memory of Lynn Hudziak, who was an amazing member of the eBay community and just passed away last night after her battle with cancer. And so we're passing all of those donations along to Frosty's Fosters. So thank you so much.
We do need to recharge our batteries, like Lorna said. Allison says taking time to reflect is very important. Oh, keep your eyes open for a package. It's not a return. Well, that'll be a first. Every couple of days I'm getting a return in the mail. Thanks. I appreciate the heads up, because I would have been like, God, I'm not even expecting this one.
Actually, speaking of Allison, we actually got a package the other day from our friend Laura Franzica in Michigan. And so we were going to go ahead and share what we got from her. She sent us some little presents. So we do a little, well, we already saw them, but we'll do a little
It's unboxing. A little mini unboxing.
Yeah. And so this is great. This is what I love about the eBay community. It's like when you make friends, it's like you don't even have to have met them in person. Although Laura, we obviously did meet her when we were in Michigan. But it's fun when you get to know people and then you send each other little presents and show them that you care. So what'd you get?
Well, she is very big on Christmas, and she does a lot right now. She's heavily into like the Christmas ornaments, especially vintage stuff. So
and she knows her stuff. I see a lot of people
ask her questions.
A lot of people have figured that out, and they just tag her in the Boss Facebook group when they have a question about like ornaments and stuff like that and artwork. And she's really knowledgeable. So
she's really knowledgeable about mid-century modern items as well. Definitely has a great eye and great stuff in Michigan. God. So she knows that I like peacocks. And she sent me this little, it's not super old vintage, but I want to say it's probably 80s or so. This little peacock ornament that's one of these hand-blown glass ornaments. So not only do I love peacocks, I have a Christmas tree that I keep up year-round that is my peacock tree. And it has, sorry, I'm crinkling. It has only ornaments on it and only peacock ornaments. And so I've got this little pretty glass, those little blown glass peacock ornaments. It's really pretty.
It's really intricate.
Yeah, I love it. And thank you, Laura. I'm going to put it on my tree right after the show, and there it will live.
One of our friends from the north in Canada, says she's struggling with lots of stuff right now. Sick kid, sick pet, etc. Yeah, and sometimes it's like it feels like it's almost like when you get returns and stuff like that. It's like when it rains, it pours.
Yep.
And sometimes it'll feel like it's all like just piling on top of everything. So it's good to be able to turn to your friends and even just having somebody be like, you know what, it sucks. I know you're having a bad day. It's going to be all right. Just having like a little bit of acknowledgement.
And here's the thing that I just wanted to mention too, is that, because this job can be a very solitary job, and a lot of us, Katie and I are very fortunate that we live together and we do the same thing and we have each other. But a lot of people, we understand the issues with the job and each other. But a lot of people tend to do this because they have difficulty with depression or anxiety or social anxiety, and they choose to do this line of work so that they don't have to deal with the public. So they are able to work from home and control their own environment. And that's a wonderful option that eBay and Amazon and Posh and these type of things allow for certain people.
Yeah.
But also because of that, I think some people tend to be a little bit isolated. I know that Lynn was someone that, while she wasn't necessarily isolated, she was a very private person. And because she didn't have a lot of family and friends close to her, proximally wise, a lot of her friends were online and lived in other states, and people she would pick up the phone and talk to and visit with, and eBay was her community. So while Lynn passed away from cancer, I do want to say that if anybody is feeling like they are struggling and do need to reach out because they are alone or they don't have anyone else to talk to, or they just need to vent, that please do so, and do so whether it's privately or in our group or with the community, because there are many, many people that feel the same way. And I think that you will find that you are not alone. And that there are a lot of people that due to their lifestyles or whatever their concerns or challenges might be, are very isolated. And one of the things about this community is that you don't have to be.
Right. You can ask for help. And like, I get that, like, you know, we don't have the cure for cancer. We can't save people, but we can be there for each other, and we can love you, and we can support you, and we can just let you know that, like, you're not alone.
Yeah.
And I would hope that everybody within our community knows that they can expect that kind of support from us, and that we are happy to give it, because you know what, we need it too sometimes. Yeah, I mean, Lorna says it's one of the reasons why Lynn and her got so close. She was alone, did this on her own. You know, Lorna, a while back, her mom has 2 dogs, but they were dogs that Lorna grew up with. And so she was very close to them as well. And Lorna's mom was away, like she left for, it was only, I don't remember what the deal was, but she was away, and Lorna had to deal with her dog basically dying in her arms in the middle of the night. And there was nothing, she had no way to get the dog anywhere to deal with it. So she just had to be there for her dog. And Lynn was like literally on the phone with her in the middle of the night, like talking her through it. And that was like so huge. That was a really big deal for Lorna to have that friend there for her. And it was all because of eBay, you know?
Yeah. And I want to say that, you know, I've found that through bringing up discussions like this in our group and just talking with people in general over the years, being on eBay, there are lots of people. I notice a lot of people chiming in our chat. This is why they work from home. They deal with social anxiety or physical illnesses and issues. And it's very true. This type of platform and line of work allows for people that do not or cannot work with the public or work a traditional job. It allows them to have a living. And I love that. It allows that for a lot of people, and it helps create a community where some people don't necessarily have one elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to show my little thing that I got from Laura Franzica. It's also an ornament, and I love it. I don't know if these, if they're supposed to be like raccoons, but look at their little, it's like a little, it's what do you call it? A pine cone. And look at these little guys. Look how cute they are. So that's really cute. It's got little Christmas presents
carved out of a pine cone.
Well, I think this is like ceramic. So first I thought it was carved, and then I'm like, no, I think it was made out of like ceramic or something. It's really heavy, but I think it's really adorable. And Laura sent that for me. Yeah, I think it's pretty adorable.
It's cute. I'll allow it on the tree, Laura. Thank you. That was very sweet of you.
Yeah.
So we do always appreciate when somebody sends something.
Yeah, very for cute. Sure. Cheryl.
Although you can hold off on the freaking cat t-shirts, I'm just going to say.
Whatever. Cheryl Ross says she's tearing up listening to all this. Sorry, we're not trying to make you cry. But I think that it's, you know, you think it's important. So
I think it's important to talk about. So.
And I see, you know, a lot of people on here have like their different ways. I know for me, it's like I might work a 10-hour day, but sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I'm so exhausted. I'm going to go sleep for about a half an hour and then like take a nap. And then like, you'll wonder why things are so quiet and you'll realize.
And then I find you're curled up asleep somewhere.
It's true. It's true. Yep. Laura says those are trash pandas. Anyway, yeah. Lynn loved cats as well. She actually had her cat passed away.
Her cat just passed away.
Or just like a week or so ago. And so Laura says she'll never send me a cat t-shirt.
I appreciate that.
I may or may not have found another cat t-shirt yesterday, which you said was actually pretty cool.
Well, until I realized you were going to keep it.
So rude. So rude. Yeah, see, Michael says it's reassuring to hear so many of us share similar stories. Y'all are rock stars. Yeah, really, like, honestly, like.
It's true, and it's not just women. Look at this. We've got 2 people in here. Red Nickerson's Resales. I'm the caregiver for my 92-year-old mom in online sales full-time and hardly ever sees anyone. And that's the reality of what we do. You know, again, it allows us the freedom to do what we need to do or how we need to do it.
Yeah.
But it is a solitary environment. And you know, when somebody is, you know, is going through challenging times or is hurt or whatever, you know, it's a good platform, and Reseller Family is a great way to reach out to people. You know, unfortunately, Lynn was very private about what she was going through physically. She did only confide in a few people, and that's okay. That's her choice. But I do wish that she had known how many people cared about her before. And I think that she would have had a lot more support than she did have if she had allowed people in.
I think it's one of those things where, because I know that she's done a lot to help other people that have been going through hard times. And I think it's one of those things where she gave so much to other people, but maybe she didn't give other people as much of a chance to do the same for her.
Or maybe didn't know how to ask.
Because I know I'm similar when it comes to, like, I will help anybody. Somebody can ask me, like, hey, can you come help me move something or whatever. Like, I'm always ready to help somebody out. But I have a really, really hard time asking other people for help. I do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'll feel like, I don't want to inconvenience them. Like, it's like, I'm so overly, I guess, sensitive to the idea that like, I might put somebody out. I might like inconvenience them. And to be honest, like, it's kind of silly because if your friends are your friends, they want that opportunity to help you. They want to be able to help you out. Like, I know when I have a friend that says, hey, I really need help with XYZ, it's like, I feel good knowing
you can help,
that I get to do something to help them out.
Yeah. I'm very much the same way. I'm very much a caretaker and a giver and somebody that wants to help everybody. I have a hard time saying no. That's maybe one of my faults, but, on the other hand, I don't like to ask for help. And last year when I was going through a lot of things, when Katie and I first got together, is honestly the very first time that I actually asked for help. I asked for my friends and my family, and I needed their support. And even the ones that I didn't ask absolutely stepped up and were there for me. And I'm glad that I have those friends and family in my life because I didn't really know how to ask for help.
Yeah.
And
see, do you remember me saying to you,
give them a chance?
Like, give them the opportunity to decide that they can help you.
Yeah.
Because they'll want to. Because they'll want to.
And I did. It was hard for me, but I did. So anyway, I'm sorry that this is a very somber show today. But I think sometimes you kind of have to talk about this stuff. And it's okay if you only tune in to watch us be silly and don't really like the show. That's okay. I get it.
It's all right. I just want to acknowledge really quick right now, guys. There's a lot of noise happening right now.
My stomach is growling.
What is happening?
I think I have a trash panda in my belly. I don't know.
What is going on? Maybe
I'm hungry.
Like, seriously, like, we're sitting here talking about very serious topics.
And my stomach's going,
is this like, I don't know if any of you guys have seen,
oh, we got Lindsay Holland in the house. Hey, Lindsay. Lindsay is the posh maven.
Yeah, Vikki needs tacos.
I need something.
Yeah,
for sure. So we have a couple people that popped into the chat that don't normally pop in here. So I do want to say hey.
Hey guys.
Thanks for popping in. There was someone that made a comment that says it's the first time she caught us live. She binge watches our shows.
All right.
I just want to see where that is.
Back up here.
Linda
Kroom.
Love
she
you
lives
too.
Alone at 71 with 11 cats. Hey, I'm down with that.
God
Linda.
love you, Linda.
I'm down with that, Linda. Yeah, Lorna says, I think topics like these, like this, are important. Everyone has a story. Everyone's going through something, and support and conversation is important. It's totally true.
Yeah, it is true.
Absolutely.
Somebody does need to feed me. It's true.
It's still happening. Still happening. Allison, by the way, I keep saying this, however, absolutely love Pirate Ship's cubic shipping option. Yeah, we can't stop. We keep telling everybody because it's like,
it's a little ridiculous. We should be doing commercials for Pirate Ship. They need to reach out to us.
Between the cubic priority.
They don't even know us. We don't know them.
And simple export rate for first class international. It's like every single day I'm saving money. So anyway, yeah, Regs, Sandy, watching because you are real, not fake on your show, and relating and chatting is good. Absolutely. Like, I really believe that, like, it's like when because I understand that, like, we're considered leaders in the community and people look to us for advice and hopefully inspiration. And I do think that it hurts the community more than helps when people only want to put the good out there. It's kind of like, how they have the whole thing growling. Really, it is out of control. The growling of the stomach is out of control.
I'm sorry.
It's like they talk about how what social media does to people, and how if if you watch people on like Instagram or Facebook, and it's like they put out this perfect version of themselves, this perfect version of their lives. And it's like, here's a picture of me and my friends doing this. Here's a picture of me doing this. Here's my story about this amazing thing that happened to me. And it's like 100% always like they just have the best ever. And then you have your life. And guess what? We're all regular people and we all have problems no matter what. And they have problems. I promise you. It's just they don't put that part out. They just want to put the positive out.
You portray your best life ever.
Yeah.
On social media. And that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but it does set unrealistic expectations. It sets unrealistic expectations because we all compare ourselves.
Yeah.
That's life. Doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, whatever. Everybody is comparing themselves in some way to other people. And whether it's in this reseller world where you're like, oh my God, they sold $10,000 and I only sold 2. What's wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're saying, oh my God, this person, they're buying their second house. They've got 2.2 kids. She makes everything, all their, you know, lunches and bento boxes.
Yeah, what's wrong with me?
Pinterest.
Why am I?
And
the
I'm
worst
struggling
mother
to make
ever?
my kid peanut butter and jelly. And oh shit, peanut butter's not allowed in school anymore. And you know, I'm the worst mother in the world. And I think everybody compares themselves to people and, you know, compares themselves to other people. And yes, Robin, the highlight reel. The reality is that everybody has difficulties. Everybody has good days and bad days. Everybody has challenges as a partner, as a parent, as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And that's life. Life has shit. And, you know, we do only talk about the good things. A lot of people only talk about the good things.
Well, and like Teresa always says, she always calls me Positive Polly, but that's who I really am. Like I really am in real life, in private. I mean, Vikki can attest to this. I really do try to see the positive in everything. I want to look for the solution. I don't want to like spend too much time wallowing. I do think that when people only focus on the negative, that also can hurt them because then you're not doing anything to change whatever your situation is. Because obviously there's things you can't change if you're having health issues. But for the most part in life, when challenges come to you, there's things you can do to deal with that, or how you react to it, whatever. That's going to make
it. And she's far better than that, as some of you may know, and I've said this before. My nickname is Chicken Little, and there's a reason for that because everything is a catastrophe. But if
everything is the worst thing ever, and
if I take a step back and give it a day or give it a couple of hours, it's usually nowhere near as bad as I think it is. But in my world, that's how I react. I'm a catastrophic reactor. So that's, that's how I work.
So I do preach the whole, the whole idea of boss up is that you take control of your life. You take control of your success, whatever your struggles are, you can do something to hopefully improve your situation. And you know what, even if there's something that you can't do to fix everything, you can still look to your community for that support. Look to the people around you to give you love, to give you support, to give you feedback. And so it's like, we want to be real. And most of the time I'm going to be super happy and silly and positive because that's who I am. And, but I'm still going to want to acknowledge struggles like what we are today. So, Linda Kroom just busted out a super chat for $10. She lives, where is Bullhead City? Do you know?
It's not that far, actually.
So she lives in Bullhead City. Hope to meet you someday. Love your super chat song. So Linda, I don't know if you have been watching the whole show, but I just am going to recap very quickly about the super chat. We're not doing any silly super chat songs today because we've been talking about our friend Lynn Hudziak, who was a big part of the eBay community. She passed away last night from cancer. And so all of the super chat money we were actually donating to Frosty's Fosters, which is an animal rescue out of Wisconsin that Lynn supported and was really passionate about because she loves animals. And so in her memory, we're donating all of our super chat money to that organization for her. And so Linda, we really appreciate it, you giving that money, because that's going to go to a great cause.
And
so thank
Red
you so much.
Nickerson, that's a great motto. Every day is a great day. Every day can be a great day. Absolutely. I think that's Katie's motto. She's really good at that. She's so good for me in many, many ways, but she is a very positive person and looks at things very differently. And she has helped me to be better at that. I think I'm a fairly positive person. I've seen a lot of tragedy in my life, and I know very well some people that have had some amazing lives that probably shouldn't. And they're just, they work really hard and they inspire me. So I think that is a big reality in my life. So I try not to get down on myself or on the little stuff too much, but you know, it happens.
It piles up sometimes, but you know what? I'm always all about like, you take it one piece at a time, whatever you got, you know, it's like sometimes Vikki will be overwhelmed and I'll be like, let's just focus on this thing, whatever it is, this thing right here that we can address. Let's figure out how we're going to fix this thing. Everything else, we can't really deal with that right now. So we're going to focus on this one thing. And that's all that matters in this moment. And then we deal with that thing. And usually when you deal with that first thing, you feel a little bit better and you feel a little bit more like, okay, maybe the next thing I can handle. And so, you know, that usually that helps you kind of come out of that.
Yeah, she's really good at that. Like if I just focus on one thing at a time, and that's partly my anxiety. And some days it's overwhelming. I mean, I'm one of those people with a pit in my stomach every day. So, and some days are harder than others.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I have too much to do or I'm focusing on too much, the anxiety just, And I think other people can understand what that feels like. So
yeah, for sure.
You know, taking a little bit at a time, you know, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yeah. O'Shan Deals just did a $5 super chat, and that's going to be going. We're going to be redonating that to Frosty's Foster's Animal Rescue in the memory of our friend Lynn Hudziak. And Linda Kroom just said, I lost my son to suicide. I understand love is the answer. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really sorry to hear that, Linda. But we really appreciate your support. And Maui Delights just donated a $10 super chat. Again, that's going to be donated in Lynn's memory to Frosty's Fosters. And so, yeah.
Allison, get out of my head. Goodness. Oh, we've got a traveling reseller just donated $19.99. That's going to be going to Frosty's Foster's Animal Rescue. Thank you guys so much.
Very
really,
cool.
really appreciate you guys all stepping up with these super chats.
And I'm going to take this even one step further, you guys. If any of you are thinking about, so you've been thinking about getting a cat or getting a dog in the near future, if you aren't already thinking of this, please consider getting a rescue. Like I said, both of our dogs are rescue dogs. We're donating all of our super chats today to Frosty's Foster's Animal Rescue. And you know, there's a lot of animals out there that need to be loved too, and they're just looking for the right home. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if you want a puppy. It doesn't matter if you want a specific breed. Pretty much every breed you can find, because people all the time, they're like, I got to have a Chihuahua puppy, and then they get a dog or a pit bull or whatever it is. They're like, I got to have this one kind of dog. And they go get it from a breeder. And then they realize like, oh, having a dog is really a lot of work, or, oh, this doesn't really fit with my lifestyle. And they end up giving them up. And that's how they end up at an animal rescue. So I'm telling you, there's usually an organization for every breed of dog out there. So if you are thinking about getting a pet in the near future, consider getting a rescue if you haven't thought about it already. Both of our dogs are rescues. We love them dearly. They're the most awesome dogs.
Honestly, if
ever.
I could have 25 dogs, I would. This is why we don't go anywhere near shelters or rescues, because we would take them home.
It's true.
We would take them all home. We're both like that. And unfortunately, we know that we can only do 2. So
yeah.
So some people just popping in. The Violent Lemon just popped in. Thanks for everyone coming in.
Gina Allred just said people benefit from the companionship of a pet, both mentally and physically. You know, I was watching that there was this really amazing episode of Nova. You remember that show Nova? And it was all about dogs and their relationships with people. And they did this kind of like experiment or the study where they took pet owners and their dogs, and they tested their blood before they had sat down for a really good pet session with their dogs, and then they tested their blood after. And what they found was, so women, when they breastfeed their babies, they give off this certain, they release, it's a certain hormone or chemical, and it has to do with that kind of nurturing, taking care of kind of thing. And they found that when pet owners pet their dogs, that same chemical gets released, so that same hormone gets released. But even more interesting is they found that dogs release the exact same chemical or hormone when that happens. So there's something about that relationship that's really soothing, and it makes you want to take care of them, and it helps relieve stress. It helps with heart disease. There's all kinds of studies have shown how beneficial it is to have an animal in your life.
So Kara, thank you for your donation, and Amy as well. Both just donated.
Oh wow.
And Violet Lemon just popped in. All of our super chats today are going to the Frosty's Foster's Animal Rescue in memory of our friend Lynn Hudziak, who was an active member in the eBay community, also our friend, and she was in the boss group. She co-ran a group called Thrifty Adventures as an admin, and she's just an active eBay.
She had a YouTube channel too. She's very,
Did she have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I didn't know somebody asked that earlier. I'm sorry, I didn't know she had a YouTube channel.
Well, she kind of started putting some work into it, like, or I think before she was diagnosed. She was doing some videos. So it wasn't like super built up or anything like that. But she put a lot of work and time into helping other sellers. And so we're just donating all of our super chats to Frosty's Fosters because she was a huge, huge animal lover. That was, if she loved anything more than eBay, it was animals. So.
Yeah, and she passed away unexpectedly from cancer last night. She had been battling it for a few months, but it came back aggressively, and it was very quick.
So Texas Turnaround just said, just gave a quote, "Always be the person your dog thinks you are." Like, how awesome is that?
That is a really good quote.
Because seriously, like, dogs,
who loves you more than your pet?
You know, like some cats, some cats are pretty affectionate.
They're like, all right, I'll let you feed me.
I've had cats that were affectionate, but there's also cats that are kind of like, yeah, you're cool, but whatever, I got stuff to do. Dogs will make you think you are the most amazing person that ever walked the face of the earth. Like, you leave your house for 5 minutes, you come back, you would think that you had been gone for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
every time.
Every single time. Like,
if you ever want to feel good, you just leave the house and come back in.
Yeah, for sure. Like, they just, it's like dogs will make you feel so special and so important. Red Neckerson actually said something up here. Let me see if I want someone to love me like my dog does.
It's true.
Like, I'm serious. Like, dogs, there's nobody, no animal or person that can make you feel as loved as a dog.
I just wanted to acknowledge here that, go back up for a second.
Yes.
Tammy Jolson donated. She just donated. Wish she could do more. Thank you for your donation. You can direct donate to the link. We have it below, and we're actually just going to pop it right into the chat again. YouTube does take a little bit of a chunk of the money, but we're going to be donating it to.
Yeah, but I'll donate some more from us too,
correct,
to help with that too. So Exclusive Elegance, Heather just donated $10. Said, so sorry to hear, great thing to do. And then Violet Lemon, $50.
Thank you. I know that she's dealing with some health issues at this point.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for your donation. That's very sweet of you.
Put this link in here real quick. And I think, I know how much Lynn loved animals. So if she could see like how much people were stepping up to,
I think she'd be happy to see this.
She would love, she would love to know, because seriously, like this organization, this Frosty's Fosters, I went and looked at their website and stuff. And, they're like a local animal rescue in Wisconsin that she supported and loved. And it looks like they're a smaller organization. So I guarantee you, sometimes when you donate to like a really big organization, it can kind of get lost in the mix of things.
I said a little bit earlier, we'd originally thought we were going to donate to the American Cancer Society in Lynn's memory.
Which is a good organization.
I think this is even better.
But a lot of the donation can end up going into overhead and stuff like that. And so
costs.
When you're donating to a small organization like that, like everything that we've been able to bring in just from this show, I guarantee you is going to directly impact a lot of rescue animals, dogs and cats lives, and the people that they get placed with. I mean, for any of you guys that have pets, like we've already been saying, like there's nothing like having an animal that loves you and is there for you. So
we're going to have to start wrapping up the show very quickly. Unfortunately, it went very fast.
Shemsa08 donated $9.99. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the donations.
Yeah.
The link is going to be below the show. If you happen to be watching the show after the fact, you can donate directly to Frosty's Fosters Animal Rescue. And feel free to share that on your Facebook page if you'd like to. We're going to have it in the boss group as well. And we do have to jump on another call. That starts at 12 o'clock. So I apologize. We're not trying to really cut this short. I know people are still active in the chat. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. But listen, any of you guys, if you're watching this after the fact, I know we have a lot of people watching live. But if you're watching the show after the fact, the link is below to the Facebook page that Laura created to donate to Frosty's Fosters Animal Rescue in Lynn's memory. So you can go ahead and follow that link if you want, or you can go find the organization on their own website. If you want to donate, go ahead and do that as well. Let us know if you did, because we'd love to be able to acknowledge that. And we'll we'll give a total. I'll go back into the description of this video and give a total of what we were able to raise just from super chats today, because I think it's super awesome.
Yeah.
And then I'll also
keep
everybody posted on just overall what we're able to raise in Lynn's memory, because I think it's super awesome to be able to do this, to just remember her with something that she really cared about a lot. So thank you guys for once again showing us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for showing up and showing us what an amazing community we have here.
Absolutely. Really. Seriously, this seller community, reseller community is super great, amazing, awesome. We're here for each other. This is what the boss group is all about. It's about celebrating each other's accomplishments, but also supporting each other when we're going through struggles, or we're dealing with obstacles. That's what we're here for. And so we just want to thank you guys so much for being here. Join the Boss Facebook group if you haven't already. And take some time out to tell some people you care about that you love them. What do you think?
You made me cry.
Sorry, am I making you cry?
Yes.
I apologize.
Thanks, everybody. I appreciate this.
We love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Peace out.